is about practice, right? And so rather than stand up here and talk about what I wanted to bring forth today, which is visioning, we're actually going to do a little visioning. But before we go into it, what I want to talk about is how visioning, I believe to be an essential spiritual practice, because visioning is something that allows us to open up to the unknown, to the yet unexperienced, to the infinite possibilities of who we can become. Sometimes people confuse visioning with visualizing. It is not the same thing. Visualizing is holding an idea or an image in mind, and that image is generally based on what we have known, what we have experienced, things that have been a part of our life up until now. When we visualize, we are holding an image in mind so that we can realize that image in our real life experience. But when we are visioning, then we're opening up by asking questions and listening to what comes through. So we're not looking for answers, we're not trying to make sense of anything. We're simply opening up, we're tuning in to that incredible, amazing, infinite potentiality that is always available, and just allowing ourselves to connect with whatever it is that wants to come through. Okay? So if you have a journal or something to write with and you want to take it out, feel free, but it is not essential for this practice, because this won't be in this little container, that won't be the end of the visioning. This is an opportunity to sort of open the door, or a portal, if you will, and these ideas, experiences, connections, intuitive hits, whatever they are, can continue coming long after we walk out the door today. All right? So the visioning practice that we're going to do today is a shortened version based on Michael Beckwith's visioning practice. And so I invite you to get comfortable in your chair. I invite you to, if you are going to have something to write with, have it handy, although even if you have it handy, doesn't mean you have to jot anything down. And then I invite you to close your eyes or lower your gaze, whatever it is that feels comfortable, right here and right now. And so to begin, I invite you to start focusing on your breath, allowing it to soften, to lengthen, to slow down, noticing how it moves in and out through your nostrils, in and out through your lungs, and simply allowing that breath, that rhythm, to breathe you, to settle you, to allow you to dissolve and settle into this moment right here, right now. And as you continue becoming more intentional and relaxed with your breath, I invite you to bring to your mind's eye someone that you love unconditionally. Someone who is easy to love. It could be a family member or a friend. It could be a pet. It can be someone who is alive or no longer with us. But someone who, when you bring them to your mind's eye, makes your heart swell. Allows your heart center to expand, to warm, to glow. I invite you to see their face, look at their eyes, see their skin, or their fur if it's an animal. Feel their breath on your skin. Perhaps feel their heartbeat. And just allow yourself to hold a vision of this beloved in your mind and in your heart. And now I invite you to drop down into your heart center, allowing the love that you feel for this individual, that you share with this individual, to expand, to amplify, to activate. And as we go through tonight's visioning process, I invite you to remain as anchored as you can in this feeling and this atmosphere of love. Of love that is easy, that is pure, that is whole, that is essential, that is complete. And now, as we remain ensconced in and infused with love, I invite you to close your outer ears and eyes, and I invite you to open your inner ear and your inner eye. And as we move through this visioning process, I will ask 4 questions, which I invite you to ask silently in your mind of yourself. And as you do, again, we're not looking for any answers. We're not trying to make sense of anything. All we're doing is we're being open and receptive to whatever it is that wants to come through. Knowing that as we are tuning in, as we are opening up, we are remaining anchored and grounded in unconditional love. And so the first question for tonight's visioning is, what is the highest vision for my life? What is the highest vision for my life? Listening with your inner ear, observing with your inner eye, allowing your heart to be your guide. What is the highest vision for my life? Remembering to breathe. Remaining open and receptive. Tuning in to the unknown, infinite possibilities. What is the highest vision for my life? Remaining open to that question as we move on to the second question in tonight's visioning process. In order to realize the highest vision for my life, what must I become? In order to realize the highest vision for my life, what must I become? Remaining open and receptive. Tuning in with your inner ear. Observing with your inner eye. Allowing whatever it is that wants to come through to come through. Realizing that it could be a feeling, it could be a word or an image. And in this moment, it could be nothing and come later. Allowing yourself to be receptive to whatever it is and whenever it is that wants to happen. In order to realize the highest vision of my life, what must I become? remaining anchored in unconditional love. Surrendering to the unknown. In order to realize the highest vision of my life, what must I become? So continuing with that question and the first question, remaining open and receptive, as we move on to the third question in today's visioning process. In order to realize the highest vision for my life, what must I release? In order to realize the highest vision for my life, the calling on my heart, the purpose of my soul, what must I release? Knowing the release has a double meaning. There's releasing in letting go, and there's releasing as allowing or unleashing. So in order to realize the highest vision for my life, what must I release? Remembering to breathe. Remaining anchored in unconditional love. Allowing your heart to be your guide. In order to realize the highest vision for my life, what must I release? Remaining open and receptive as we move on to the final question of tonight's visioning process. In order to realize the highest vision of my life, what else? In order to realize the highest vision for my life, what else? Is there a new way of thinking? Is there a different way of being? Are there shifts to be made? Is there something to let go of? Something to become more aware of? Remaining open and receptive to whatever it is that wants to make its way through. Remaining grounded, infused with unconditional love. Allowing your heart to be your guide as you continue listening and tuning in with your inner ear, observing with your inner eye, in order to realize the highest vision for my life. What else? And so as we continue with the rest of our time together today, as we move into the coming hours, days, weeks, months ahead, I invite you to continue being open and receptive. Allow yourself to be immersed in unconditional love as often as we can. Allow your mind to be expanded, your heart to be opened. Allow your soul to be activated in new and different and exciting ways. Ideas may come quickly, they may come softly, they may feel like they're hitting you upside the head. They may come in dreams and conversations, as signs on billboards or in nature. Whatever it is that allows you to continue listening with your inner ear and observing with your inner eye, allows you to remain open and receptive, I invite you to practice that. And as you continue moving from moment to moment to moment, to remember that every single moment is an opportunity to heal, to grow, to expand, to connect, to lean into the unknown. As we remember that no matter what is going on, we are infinitely more powerful, creative, and resilient than anything we could ever think, believe, or feel, than anything we could ever experience. In every moment of every day, that essential love, that intuitive wisdom, that divine guidance is always present to lead us to who we can become. Our only job is to let it. So I invite you to take a big nourishing breath in and release. Receive another big, life-affirming, nourishing breath in and release. And receiving a third big, life-affirming, nourishing breath in and release. Returning back to your normal breath. And when ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And just like earlier with meditation, if you need a little bit of extra time to come back into your body, into the room, I invite you to move around. Take a sip of some tea or water from the health around you. And then we get to move into our conscious conversation.